Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. I'm Dr. Trina Hinkley from the Expanded Self and checking in today just to follow up from yesterday's live and talk a little bit about some of the practices across each of the domains that we looked at in our life that we might be able to engage in some self-care activities to look after and nourish ourselves a little bit, particularly in this time when many of us are quite stressed. So just as a reminder, the domains were the physical domain, the professional domain, so our work lives, the social domain, this is around our connections with other people, the emotional domain, the psychological domain, and the spiritual domain. So I'll talk just a little bit about one thing that we can do in each of those domains, and there might be something in there that you might like to adapt for yourself that might fit into your own life. So in the physical domain, something that's really, really important for our health and well-being is to keep up our level of physical activity. There's so much evidence around the benefits of physical activity that it's not funny at all. And some people have actually referred to physical activity as being the magic pill that solves so many problems. It's sometimes prescribed by health practitioners for patients and clients to help them cope with various challenges that they have in their lives, and provides, as I said, a host of benefits. So making sure that we have enough physical activity is really, really important for us to maintain health and well-being. And it doesn't have to be running or flat out cycling or anything like that. It can be something as simple as gardening or mowing the lawn. So whatever it is that you enjoy doing, that you're likely to continue doing, do that. It doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't matter whether it's with somebody else or not. The main thing is to think about making sure that you're moving your body at a good pace, that you're getting quite warm and perhaps a little bit breathless. And then that means that you're exercising at a level that's high enough for you to be able to get the benefits of physical activity. If we move into the professional domain, so some of us might be quite stressed in our jobs at the moment. Working from home for many people can be quite challenging, and it can be difficult for various reasons. So making sure that you really manage your time and prioritise the tasks that you need to work on can be a really good way of providing self-care for yourself. So think about the tasks that you really need to do and choose those ones to do first that are the most important and the most urgent. When you're thinking about managing your time, a great intruder on time is email, and they're always, binging and flicking and popping off in the background. So turn your email off. Schedule some time into your calendar each day to deal with your emails, and in between, turn your email off and wait until that time in your calendar arrives. When you're in meetings, make sure that you're really focused on the intended outcome. One of the things that I've done when I've been leading teams in the past is to be really clear at the beginning that this is the intended outcome of the meeting, and then make sure that we focus conversation on that. Your meetings become more efficient, more effective, you get a resolution, and you can walk out of there and everybody knows what they're doing. In the social domain, we often think about the support that we can get from our friends and our family and our connections. But a really important thing in the social domain is the idea of altruism and generosity. So what can we actually give back? And there's a growing body of evidence, quite robust evidence, around the benefits to us of giving to other people. So thinking about what do other people need and how can we give to and support them can be beneficial to us as well. It's a little bit more challenging in this time when we're not able to engage physically with other people, but it could be as simple as perhaps sending a little text message, just saying that you want to brighten somebody's day, sending them a card in the post, giving them a call when they don't expect it, those sorts of things. We move on to the fourth domain, which is the emotional domain. And one that I quite like in here, an activity that I think is quite useful for a lot of people, is around identifying and replacing destructive ways of coping. So I mentioned yesterday that one of my destructive ways of coping is eating too much chocolate. So I'm managing that this week by rationing myself. So I would never try and cut chocolate out of my life, and I wouldn't recommend cutting anything like that out of anybody's life. But instead of eating half a block So I'm trying to eat 2 little squares, and instead of eating chocolate every day, I'll eat it on the weekends. And one really lovely thing that you can do with chocolate is pop it in your mouth, and rather than munching through it in 3 seconds like I tend to do so I can put more in, wait for it to melt. Put it on your tongue, wait for it to melt. Allow it to move around in your mouth. Swirl your tongue around it. Feel the different textures of it, the different flavours of it. It's amazing how much more enjoyment I get from eating chocolate when I eat chocolate in that way. The 5th domain is the psychological domain, and the idea that I wanted to talk about here that we can use to support our self-care is intellectual pursuits. So engaging the brain and using the brain perhaps in a way that it hasn't been used before. And there's also some evidence that in doing this we might be delaying the onset of Alzheimer's or minimising the impact of Alzheimer's. So this could be something like learning a language, doing crosswords, engaging in political or intellectual debate, learning more about philosophy, those sorts of things, anything that stimulates your mind. And again, make sure it's something that you enjoy, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to be able to sustain it. The final domain is the spiritual domain, and one that I really like here is connecting with nature. Any of you out there who are watching who know me will know how much I love hiking and camping. So this time when we haven't been allowed to travel and we aren't able to camp and enjoy the great outdoors has been particularly challenging for me from that respect. So I've tried to incorporate nature more into my daily life. I potted up a whole lot of plants that sit on my balcony. I've got little plants in most of the rooms in my home. And on my kitchen windowsill, I have jars of fresh herbs sitting there, fresh herbs in a glass of water sitting there, so that I'm bringing some of that essence of nature and some of the beauty of nature into my life every day and caring for myself in that way. So they're the 6 things that I wanted to cover. I'll pop back in tomorrow and talk a little bit about the benefits. And I've just posted a blog on my website about self-care, which covers the things that I'm talking about in these lives and some more info as well, with some links to things that might support you in making sure that you've got a good self-care plan in place. So pop on over to www.theexpandedself.life and check out my blog, check out the treasures page for a free download of a meditation, and sign up to the newsletter so that you're able to keep updated with the latest happenings and info that I post up there. If you've got any questions, I'd love to hear them. Please pop them in the comments and I'll come back to you, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.